As I sit here with you today, I want to thank you so much for watching and listening to this because I think what we have to say is very powerful. And I think it will probably give you some insight into how we're feeling and how you can help as family and care partners. I was diagnosed with frontal temporal disorder with cortical basal syndrome, and both, as we know, are progressive neurodegenerative diseases. I was 53 when this happened. I worked. I had a job that I loved. Was in the industry for 30 years. I was at the top of my game. We were living in Florida, just really a dream life. I remember when my husband and I were sitting there in the neurologist office and getting this diagnosis after PET scan, lumbar punctures, neuropsychological testing, amongst some other things, and just my world crashing down. I'm a very independent person. I love life. I love learning. When this hit, there were 1,000 thoughts that ran through my head. And then there was an overwhelming despair that settled in my heart. This is not a disease that runs in my family. Within 6 months of the diagnosis, I felt there was really nothing left to live for. I felt like I was becoming or will become a burden, both emotionally and financially, to my family. So I attempted suicide, which is not me. I farthest thoughts that would have been in my head. I am so thankful and so blessed that it was not successful and that I'm living well today. I'm enjoying time with my family, with my grandson. I'm learning new things and I'm advocating. When someone is diagnosed, we might see signs of depression or anxiousness. I think one of my things to really, really emphasize is let them know how much you care. Please know it is not the end of the world, especially when you have an earlier diagnosis. We know that this hits between 45 and 60 typically. There are so many things that you can do. Help your loved one, help your friend. Ongoing counseling was a lifesaver for me. Cognitive speech therapy to help me with learning techniques and how to manage this. The Association of Frontal Temporal Disorders, AFTD, Alzheimer, Dementia Council of the Minds, all are fabulous resources for support. Socialize. Please do not let your loved one be isolated. That is one of the worst things that can happen to us. And I have very much faith. So I believe in God. And that was a big one. So I finally began to realize that life is not hopeless. I am still me. I can contribute. So we're getting at almost 5 years later. I think of it as a journey, and a journey spans a lifetime. It spans a period of time, right? So each journey is unique. We all progress differently. Is my life a little simpler? Yes. Is it slower paced? Yes. There is no shame. Please let your loved one know there is no shame. That person needs to talk to you, or maybe doesn't quite make sense, or needs a little bit more time to process. Allow them to. Allow us to. You are not alone. You have so much support. It's out there. Your loved one is not alone. Please know that. And please know that we, as persons living with dementia, we can still live, and you can help us live.
Before my dementia diagnosis a year ago, I had never ever felt like I would say I had depression or anxiety or stress free, except good stress, because I was always this laid back, chill person. But about 3 months ago, my mornings would start out, I would wake up feeling numb. I call it like a blah zombie. No feelings, just there. Not necessarily sad, but really teary and wimpy. And my fiance would come up and say, "What's the matter, babe?" Tears were running down my street. And I'd say, "I don't know," because I really didn't know. This would go away in mid-afternoon usually, but my mornings were totally wasted. And that was usually my most productive time. So I knew I had to do something about it. I started going out on our back-facing patio that faces the east with my hot cup of lemon ginger tea, and I would sit in the sun and just soak it up. I would turn on my YouTube videos with my earbuds in my head, and there would be meditations that had positive affirmations recording about good health. And in the background would be this music, calming music with the birds chirping that would go perfectly with my chirping birds in the backyard. And I would just sit there and listen to those affirmations and, repeat them in my head. And it was like medicine. It was absolutely amazing. And I still do it today because it gets such a good feeling out of it.
For depression, if I don't get a good night's sleep, man, it's bad. At that point, it's go back to bed and start over again maybe. And 10, 12 hours, get up for an hour, go back and sleep for another 4 or 5 hours. Sleep is huge. But if I hit that depression stage, I choose not to go to that pity party. It's hard sometimes. The whole depression thing is trying not to set myself up for it. Sometimes you can do that, and other times it comes looking for you. Southern gospel music, it helps defuse the frustration, which then gets me out of my depression. And reading. You got to do what's right for yourself.
All I can say is that on this journey, as we get different moods, whether they're down slopes or whatever, and we feel like we can't talk to nobody, go through that feeling. But you can't stay there forever. It's almost like you drink a glass of lemonade. It took time to get it all to an empty glass. And we have to bring back our comfort zone, bring back that we're gonna fight this. You have to bring it back and say, hey, you can't stay in that gutter. You gotta get up. You gotta smile again. You gotta remember that you're stronger than you think. That happened, yes. You cried, yes. You feel like you made a big mistake, yes. But am I gonna say, no, I don't want to have that kind of attitude. I'm too happy. I'm too happy. Unfortunately, people will say, well, how can you be so happy? Haven't you? Because I've had cancer 3 times. I've had Alzheimer's. This is year 10, and it is in full gear right now. But I'm not a weakling. I'm a fighter. And that's what we all are. My favorite one is Hiya. Hiya. And what that means is how important you are. Don't you ever forget that or think that you are less than that. You are a shining star. Hiya!